Greetings, welcome to another episode of STL Soccer Talk at stltoday.com and the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. I am speaking too quickly. I'm Tom Timmermann and this is Beth O'Malley. And Beth, an interesting week coming off for St. Louis City. They went to Los Angeles, they looked really good.
They looked great.
And then they kind of went off the cliff.
Yes, they dove directly off the cliff, unfortunately led by Samuel Adeniran, who had a handball in the box, something that you really can't blame him for. It was not clear and obvious at first. In fact, the referee had to go to VAR to find it. And then, though, he decides to foul one of the LA players. It was not what you might call a strategic foul. He got a second yellow card for that and was then sent to the locker room. So City had to play a man down for the rest of the game. I'm going to forget how long it was.
Well, about 30 minutes plus 10 minutes of stoppage time.
So quite a bit of the game. Managed to get out of LA with a tie, although when they went into the half, it looked like they were going to come out with a win.
The first half of the game, it was the first game they'd had the spine, Berkey, Nielsen, Leuven, Blom, and Klaus, all in the starting lineup at the same time. Looked great for the first 45 minutes, 2-0, could have been more. And then the second half did not work as well. But that's encouraging, that how well they looked in the first half against a team that has been playing as well as any team in the league of late. Joachim Nielsen left that game early with an injury. He didn't practice on Tuesday because players who started on Sunday didn't practice today. But Bradley Carnell was encouraged by how he had looked in the days since and his situation going forward. They probably won't know till later in the week what his situation is, but it was encouraging with Nielsen as he comes back from knee surgery. Carnell said this is though how it's going to be, that he's going to be working through this and how much they can use him and how he's going to feel after games. He may not be a 90-minute guy, he may be a 70-minute guy because they just have to be careful with him for the rest of this season.
And the defense was able to hold off a surging LA team, even a man down. You don't expect much offense in that type of situation. You didn't get it out of City, but the defense was able to hold off and hold on to that tie, giving them a point. They're still in first place.
They are still in first, and all they have to do is kind of keep holding serve and they kind of run out the clock. I mean, they're up. They've got in effect 2 games. A 2-game lead on the opposing teams. Klaus, in his first start back, looked very Klaus-like, and his goal scored was an exemplary one. And he's looking good, and he did things on both sides of the ball. He also was doing good things defensively. That's a good sign. Adeniran has been on a roll, but they're going to miss him against Houston because he has to sit out because of the red card. But that'll give Nico Gioacchini a chance if they decide to go with 2 forwards. Carnell not committing to that formation yet. But it's a team that, if it has all its pieces and getting all, looks good, but getting all of those pieces continues to be the challenge. There's always something happening, and whether it was Nielsen, having to sit out all the time. Adeniran's back and he gets a red card. It's always something. They got 6 games to try to get everybody on the same page, and then the playoffs.
And there will always be something in each of those games. Something new is going to come up, which is one of the reasons why we love sports, right?
Yeah. Yes, that's one of the. Well, if it was predictable, I'd be out of a job. So that's something. On that note. There's more on the podcast. If you've listened to the podcast first, Beth owes us some faces here, but I don't know if she's going to do that.
I'm not going to do
We're not going to get the sad or the disappointed or the Tom stop talking face.
Or the Gulf face.
Or the Gulf face,
right.
Yeah. But in any case, listen to the podcast where we talk about all sorts of things for a much longer period of time, but you can listen to it while you're driving in the car. Check the pages of the Post-Dispatch and the pixels at stltoday.com for STL St. Louis City updates throughout the week. Subscribe for all sorts of stuff. To be able to read that stuff and support local journalism. And Beth, any other faces you'd like to make?
No, I'm good.
Okay, so until next week, from the Brian Burwell studio, for Allie behind the camera, be seeing you.